and we'll get going with Zamps. Marty, do you want to kick us off?
Thanks, Luce. Hi, Adam. Could you just talk us through what it's been like sitting on the dugout in the last two games, watching your captain get back into form? Obviously, he's had a tough couple of months, but to finally see him get back to his best, what's it been like for you guys just watching your captain do so well?
It's been good, mate. Yeah, we just to clarify, I don't sit in the dugout. Me and Kane Richardson sit in the change rooms and rap together while the boys are out there batting. Kane Richardson thinks he's a good rapper, but that's where we watch it from. But in terms of Finchy, yeah, obviously there's been a bit of pressure on him. Like the media seem to like painting a certain story when people have a bad drop, but I think the boys have been in his corner the whole time. Obviously, he's led really well, and we knew that was just it wasn't too far away from him. And then I felt like last night, obviously, with a bit of confidence back, he showed a lot of character on a pretty difficult wicket. I think it was at the halfway mark, we felt like we had a really good score, but for an opening batsman to go run a ball and then make the most of the death overs the way he did was, I think at the halfway mark, we felt like it was a winning score, and that was probably thanks to Finchy's innings.
Something that Kane said, I think, about a week ago was that even when Finchy wasn't scoring runs, that his mood didn't really change around the group, and he was sort of the same guy. Has there been a bit of a pep in his step in the last couple of days, though, having scored runs, or is he just being the same sort of guy?
Definitely more of a kick in his step, yeah, for sure. But that's natural. Obviously, as professional sportsmen, you tend to unfortunately read what is written about you, and to be fair to Finchy, you could tell that was starting to maybe get to him a little bit. But as soon as he walked on the park, he still led the team beautifully. Obviously, it's frustrating not being able to contribute with the bat the way that he thought that he wanted to. But as I said to you before, like, we all backed him in. He's been leading the white ball team so well for the last couple of years, and we knew that it was around the corner. So I think if anything, it's just a sigh of relief for him and also the team. Like, we were under the pump a couple of games ago now, and then for probably one of our most important players to be back at his best, it's everyone's got a kick in their step, I think.
Thank you, mate.
Thanks, Marty. Andrew.
Thanks, Lucy. Hi, Adam. With what you've coming up, with what's coming up later this year, the World Cup and stuff, how useful has it been to have these must-win games and now a decider, just to put you guys through that sort of pressure you might face in a World Cup scenario?
Interesting question. I haven't really thought about it like that. Obviously, it wasn't an ideal start, but we weren't trying to be too hard on ourselves. We'd just come out of that 2-week quarantine. A lot of guys hadn't played much cricket, so we know the brand of cricket that we want to play. We know how our team sets up as well, and then obviously this tour is a little bit different, being people are, a few people are missing due to the South Africa tour, which didn't go ahead. So it's been nice, if anything, to get some games into some guys that probably wouldn't have if that didn't go ahead. So yeah, it's been an interesting tour. I guess to answer your question, we were under the pump, and it's a nice feeling now that we're back in this series. So yeah, it's good. Yeah.
I suspect coming into a New Zealand T20 you perhaps didn't think there would be conditions where the three of you guys, the spinners, combine and take 6 for 50 or whatever it was. Last night at sort of about 4 and over. Was it kind of nice to have those conditions thrown on you? Do you think it will be more of the same in the decider tomorrow?
Yeah, you're right. It's probably typically unexpected for New Zealand to be that way. The first couple of games, the wicket slid on really well, smaller grounds, and then you get to Wellington, it's probably the dimensions are more of a Australian type of ground. And when you're starting to play 2-3 games in a row on the same wicket, obviously the traffic starts to make the wicket a little bit dry. And I think turning up last night, looking at the wicket, we didn't really expect it to play like that. But then, Santner bowled really well. Ish Sodhi was getting some grab on the wicket. The slower balls were grabbing a bit too. So a bit unexpected, but I think probably more of the same in the third game. There's a forecast for a little bit of rain here, but I don't think too much moisture will get into it, and it'll stay typically pretty dry, same as the last game, I think.
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, Andrew. Sam.
G'day, Adam. Hope you're well. It looks like you're the clear matchup for Kane Williamson this series. Can you just talk us through the tactics behind that? Why are you the man to come on and bowl to him?
It's something that we've spoken about as a general plan. If Kane comes out early, that I'll bowl to him. I've bowled quite a bit to him in the past and have had a little bit of success. So we tried to make the most of that matchup, but I think that the first 3 games it happened, and I think the conversation now is that still the right matchup? Do we wait until the 7th over or the 9th over for him to be there and me to bowl with 5 out to him? So we're trying to work out the best way to get the most out of those matchups. But that conversation has been had. But it's something that we put quite a bit of work into, getting the right matchups and bowling players to the right batsman.
So in terms of all the facts we've uncovered this series, I think you bowled a few more power play overs. What have you sort of learned so far personally? Be it different roles you can complete within games. What have you really taken out of it so far?
Good question. I think we, as bowlers, obviously, looking forward to the World Cup a little bit, we need to be able to bowl anywhere between the 1st and the 20th over. So with the way that our team's set up, with Ash and I spinning at the bow the same way, and typically we play 2 spinners every T20 game now. So, so one of us is going to have to bowl maybe 1 over a power play, 2 overs of power play. And as you saw last night, there was 3 overs from Ash and he bowled beautifully in the power play. So, it's trying to work out just the length that you bowl on the power play, getting, obviously it's different challenges bowling to, say, Kane Williamson in the power play compared to Marty Guptill. So you need to do your prep. It's probably the most important thing is making sure that those 2 guys out there you have in the power play are in the right spot to try and make them hit the ball to the right area.
Sorry, just on a couple of years ago, you formed a really good partnership with Nathan Lyon. Conditions didn't suit in England, but in approaching another World Cup, what's it like? How do you make sure that you and Ash gel together in terms of the 2 spinners in the team? Is there anything you 2 work on or talk about, or is there a way you can help each other to get the best?
We've helped each other a lot over the last couple of years. Ash and I, we've formed a really good partnership. I think having a close friendship really helps, and we just try and communicate. Like the last 2 games, for example, I bowled early in the 3rd game and gave Ash maybe a little bit of communication, some tips on what might work, and that works for him. And then obviously last night he bowled early and gave me some pointers, which it helped as well. So we have really good friendship. We communicate really well. We train well together as well, which is a really big thing. But all of those combined are probably helping us, on the park.
And one more topic, if I can, are you able to talk us through the rain notes and the fingers? I'm not sure if you've spoken about that before. Is that much of a problem for you when it gets chilly at night, or is it something that you're able to manage okay?
I can manage it okay. It's just I don't know how it's come about. It only started a couple of years ago, but if it's chilly, my fingers go white and I start to lose feeling in them. So I've had to problem solve a little bit around that. Obviously, hand warmers are massive, but sometimes they don't work as well as I need them to. So as you saw last night, I had the ice bag. It's usually filled with ice for people's hamstrings or glutes. So I have it full of boiling water for my hands. So yeah, I try not to make too many excuses around it. I just try and make sure my hands are warm when I'm about to bowl or take a catch or something.
So it's only come on the last couple of years. I mean, has there been a ground or a city where it's sort of been at its absolute worst? And, you know, have they ever sort of turned blue, or what's it like?
Typical, probably Tassie. Anywhere that's a little bit colder, and yeah, or sometimes if I get a knock to the tip of my fingers, like if off my bowling, I get one hit back at me and it hits me under the finger, my fingers will go white as well. So yeah, it's a little bit weird, but yeah, I've worked out ways to make sure it's not too big of an issue.
Thanks so much. Good luck tomorrow, Adam.
Yes, thanks.
Thanks, Sam. Guy, we'll go to you.
Cool, thanks, Lucy. Hey, just one, Adam, just back to the spin and that sort of thing and how effective it was. Are you guys envisaging that the Black Caps will probably play more spin tomorrow? And what do you know about, well, obviously Kane Williamson's bowling and even Glenn Phillips or Mark Chapman? What do you know about those guys when it comes to spin?
Yeah, it was spoken a little bit about last night. We think that they might make a change there. Obviously, we saw the wicket and how it played, and we were able to get, you know, if we'd bowled 20 overs, we probably would have bowled 12 overs of spin. So, yeah, obviously we've seen Glenn Phillips warm up a little bit with the ball. We know he can bowl some offies. So we've got some really good matchups through the middle there with our right-handers. So I don't know if that's an option that they'll use. But yeah, we know Mark Chapman's a pretty decent little cricketer. Good lower order batsman, and I think he's bowled to us before as well, some left arm orthodox, and we saw that last night. That was really successful too. So yeah, we're envisioning a possible change, but yeah, we'll wait and see.
Good man. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Guy. Marty, we might wrap up with you.
Yeah, Adam, I know there's obviously a big game tomorrow, but just beyond that, can you tell us what the next couple of weeks look like for you, getting back to Australia before you go to India? And then also, once you do go to the IPL, do you know when you'll be home again? Like, because I know you got the 100 as well. Have you got your next sort of 6 months mapped out?
As a professional cricketer, it's hard to map out anything further than 2 months, I reckon. So yeah, we're flying back tomorrow night, and then depending on what state you're from, obviously me living in New South Wales, it's pretty nice. I'll be able to get home and get a little bit of time to refresh. Some guys, like the WA guys, will have to go home quarantine for 14 days. And then the IPL is coming up. So I think these next few weeks are really important. A few guys will try and get some state cricket in. And then a few guys that are going to the IPL might play a little bit, but then, yeah, refresh before then. And then after that, a few of us have got the 100 ball contracts, but I think that's later in the winter. So I think there's a Caribbean tour possibly in June, July. But as I said to you, we can't really plan as cricketers that far ahead because, especially in the current landscape, it changes so quickly.
Are you going to try and play for New South Wales when you get back, or are you just going to use that time for a bit of family time, bit of time at home?
I'm going to play by ear. Obviously, it's a long few months, and then I'll get home and speak to Harriet about where my head's at. Obviously, I'm getting married in early April, so that's going to be important to get some time with her and time at home. So Cricket New South Wales have been really understanding around that and have left the option open for me to do what I like, basically. So they've been really understanding for all the players, as I think most of the states have been in the current landscape of the pandemic.
Thanks, mate. Good luck with the wedding.
Cheers.
Thanks, Marty. And we might wrap up there, guys. Thanks for everything over the last few weeks, but I'm sure we'll chat to you soon.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers,
Thanks, guys.
Lucy. Thanks,
Cheers.
Samps. Cheers.